I got you. Um, have you ever had to kind of juggle that along with co-writing? I'm.
Fortunately, I don't have any. I don't have any bad co-writing experiences. Usually, it's is I've been working with like really cool people that
Mm-hmm.
understand the give and take as I do too, and we just go back and forth until we figure out what serves the song best.
I got you. Well, then just let's talk about the good experiences then.
Great. Um, well, I mean, one of the cool things is when you have multiple writers. Of course, there's different perspectives, and
Mm-hmm.
you learn a lot. It's oftentimes like a therapy session, depending on what you're writing about. Um, and I just enjoy. I've always enjoyed collabing. Like even when I used to be
Mm-hmm.
in school and stuff, I used to love that. And so like when it comes to writing songs, especially when you find somebody that you already got like chemistry with,
Mm-hmm.
this is just a good time. It's just like jamming on your instruments.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, how do you approach being a good collaborator then?
Keeping your ego in check.
Well, first leave it at the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Except I think
You need to bring enough personality. Don't leave the personality with the ego.
your ego isn't bad.
Mm.
Your ego is what separates you. Now, having it out of check is what, when you think I'm more important than someone else,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it becomes an issue. But my ego, even the definition of it, because I had to look this up at one point. But your ego is what just is your personality. Well, not your personality, but it's what separates you. It's your identifier. Now, when people have it, like I said, out of check, and you think, oh, what I'm doing is way more important than what you're doing, just because I'm better at this or I'm this or that. You know what I'm saying? That's when it gets hairy. So keeping my ego in check, which fortunately I was raised by good people that didn't let that get out of hand as a kid
Mm-hmm.
anyway. Um, Being a really good listener, which is the most important aspect in music. If you make music, you have to be a good listener and being a good communicator. So being able to communicate exactly what I'm thinking in the most efficient way possible,
Mm-hmm.
and then just having a mutual respect for the person.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you don't enjoy working with the people that you're working with, it's not going. You know what I'm saying? So choosing, being very, I guess, picky, you can use for who you work with.
Right.
Making sure that they're good people that you all get along, and everything else falls in line.
I got you. How did you develop your communication skills then for as far as like working with musicians, writers, producers?
I have a grandmother who's a therapist, and a mother who's a social worker, and an uncle who's a psychologist, and a grandfather who's a pastor. So you could kind of say it
You just
was
that was
just
a lot
semi.
in that sentence. um yeah, I was born this way. What's about blood, bro? What you mean?
It was in the house, baby. Like it was real.
You
It
was in
was
your
real.
food.
Listen, we communication is was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but no, honestly, um, I used to be really quiet and shy or whatever when I was
Mm-hmm.
really little. Um, and then as I grew, I just kind of grew out of that. But just like I said, being a good listener, musicians, we should be the best listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And so growing up playing, I think honestly being a musician helped a lot. Being able to pick up on cues without things necessarily being said, or
Mm-hmm.
just the way something feels. So I've always been that type of I just always been that type of person that I've always been listening and paid attention till I lose interest. Then I might daydream a little bit. But no, it was just, fortunately, that's just been one of the gifts that God gave me, is being a good communicator naturally.
Well, that's great. Hold on a second. Battery's gonna die.
Gotcha. Oh, you need this.
Yeah, we
Perfect.
can we'll call it and wrap out. I have a habit of misplacing things.
Same, bro. I don't know how much stuff I've left at like rehearsal studios. I
Mm-hmm.
know, like in They Lost and Found, there's tons of my stuff. Chargers, uh, like I don't even know. Headphones, tons of crap.
All right. And so I can just sync up the audio. I don't have a slate, so gotta be
Hands
get.
work. Hands work.
Yeah, I just need something percussive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, have so let's talk about some of your projects then. I
Cool.
did like very much enjoy Down to the Root.
Thank you, bro.
Since that wasn't the first project where you fairly felt like you won, and what went into that?
Down to the root.
Yeah, I want to know. Give me all the deets.
Well,
The
so
drip.
like I said, I did that first project, Good Vibes, just to go have something to perform
Mm-hmm.
in LA. And the second strain of like COVID had just came out.
Mm-hmm.
This was 2021. Um, and so we didn't get to do the performance. Instead, there was a small jam session, and you had to get checked and stuff like that. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so it was just a good time. It was a good trip, and came back, and I felt good about the responses that were happening on Good Vibes. So then naturally, I'm a very easily excitable person,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, okay, I'm making an album. that was the origin of it. So then I took a bunch of the other tracks that I had already made, and certain things that I had written for certain tracks, and I got to work, and that was July, I think, when I came back from LA.
All
So
right.
from July to October, I was just in the studio writing other things with tracks that I had already made. I made a couple of new tracks and stuff like that. But it was cool, man. 'Cause still figuring things out,
Mm-hmm.
still trying to find my footing or whatever as a artist. Cause again, that's not something that I really ever wanted to be. I just wanted to produce for other people. So now working on more songs. This one was 9 songs. But no, it's a project that I still like going back and listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the growth from then to now. But it was a cool experience just making it.
I got you. Was there did you kind of preconceive a vision for it before you really got into the weeds of making it, or you more so discovered it as you were writing?
I did have a like a preconceived notion of what I wanted it to be. It didn't work out. It did not work out. Just because it was when I put the confinements that I did have on the project.
Confinements?
Yeah, as far as like I wanted it to be, I had it down to like I wanted to be what I wanted to be like tempo wise, what I wanted to be like. I was really like specific on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I put those restrictions, I guess, on what I could do, it kind of got boring really quick. So the
Mm-hmm.
first 2 months, like I said, July and August, I was kind of stressing, like trying to make what I thought I wanted in my head.
You had a jigsaw puzzle.
Absolutely. But it was like having a jigsaw puzzle where like you keep throwing in some extra pieces every once in a while from another one. Like when you turn around, somebody threw like 3 extra ones, and you're like,
Where'd you come from?
where did you come from? You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be making the ocean. You done got the Sears Tower in here. So that was one thing. So then I had to get rid of that thought process, and I went right back to the just discovering and playing around and being curious.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started flowing smoothly
You got
again.
back into your bag.
Exactly, bro. So, um, but yeah, once I got rid of all that and started just actually caring about the music and like seeing what would come of it.
You let the weeds get too deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool. It was still a fun experience, and I
Mm-hmm.
I was doing it for both projects. Anything that I have out has been done all by me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So that was interesting too, trying to learn how to like mix and stuff at the time because I had
Yeah.
no training on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trying to learn what it is. It was just a fun thing.
The discovery process.
Absolutely.
Well, you did say you're a curious person. You said
I
it
am.
multiple times. So,
Indeed, I am.
so what do you have coming up?
Oh, really cool stuff. I've been doing a lot of live playing lately,
Mm-hmm.
behind other people. I'm primarily a bass player. And so um, I've been able to see how other people are conducting their shows. And I'm looking forward to doing my own live shows, hopefully at the top of next year.
Mm-hmm.
I still got to get some rehearsals together. I've already got the guys who I want. Shout out to, like I mentioned earlier, Daniel Gaden, um, my friend Zach on keys and Josh Robertson. I'm sure you know Josh on guitar. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen
Yeah,
him, and if
yeah.
you don't recognize, you'll recognize him.
I've heard him play.
Yeah,
He's summoned something.
he's a character. And so live shows coming up. Also, I plan on releasing. I'm trying to decide if it's just a single or EP on Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Maybe like a little 4 track something, a little R&B something for the people on Valentine's Day. But either way, I will be releasing either a single or EP on Valentine's Day.
I got you. You got any details you can share about it or no?
Yeah, man. So the project is gonna be called Love Is Enough.
Mhm.
Uh, Concept just came from, you got songs like What's Love Got to Do with It and stuff like that. And I've heard a lot of people, especially now, man, it's 2023. I don't know if are you married or in a relationship?
No, I am. Do not
Okay.
need that right now. I do not need that right now.
Okay. I'm in a similar situation. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. But there's so much. I think when I hear like different friends talk
Mhm.
about dating right now, and I hear all these crazy stories, man, it's such a dark.
It's some foolishness.
It's foolishness, bro. So like I think it's tainting people's perspective on like what love or the possibilities of love and things
Mhm.
like that. And hopefully I can restore a little bit of goodness to that with this next project. So the next project will be called Love Is Enough. Like I said, I might do like a little small Love Is Enough EP
Mhm.
for Valentine's Day 2024. But yeah, man, I already got a few tracks. One of the tracks is out. That
Okay.
will be on that, called Pure Love.
Mhm.
And that's out everywhere. Um, But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just taking it as it comes,
Mhm.
step by step.
I got you. All right. Well, one last question. Um, it's kind of like a thing for R&B singers. But is love like a central like theme for your artistry? Do you see it being for that way for the length of your career?
Yeah. It's my I think it's my calling.
I got you.
I feel like like I said, I grew up in church. And when I was a kid, I don't know about you. Well, you said you grew up in church in
Yeah.
Kojic. Um, I know when I was coming up, anything outside of gospel music was you'll be on your way to hell. You know.
Yeah.
Shout out to the home church. But this is
Yeah.
just a fact, bro. Like
Yeah.
well, first of all, anything other than gospel music was called the blues. They would say, "Oh, so and so singing the blues." It could be a pop song. It was just called the blues because that was just what they thought. And I remember being a kid and like hearing them talk about this. And of course, I grew up hearing it, either at school or sometimes mom would play some. She wouldn't
Mhm.
really play too much actually, but she would play like Boys to Men every once in a while or whoever. Um, and this music that I loved, I was hearing people talk about it, and I was like, I don't understand the reprimand that you passing out, And so
Some
me being,
chicanery.
you say, well,
There's some chicanery.
absolutely, yes, So me being in that, and now being able to make my own music, bro, and like I still like